Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today I'm going to be playing another Premier Draft of March of the Machine. Without further ado, let's check out our Pack 1 Pick 1, and we have two sweet rares. We have Obosh the Prey Piercer, pretty nice aggressive card for a black or red deck. You can try to companion this, but it is restrictive enough, being able to only play odd mana value cards, that it's probably at its best just in your deck rather than in the companion slot. And then we have Quintorius Lore Master, 5 mana, 3/5 Vigilance. At the beginning of your end step, exile a non-creature, non-land card from grave and create a 3/2 Spirit. Alright, that already seems great. For 3 mana, tap it, sacrifice a Spirit, choose a card exiled with it, and cast it without paying its mana cost. That's really fun and looks pretty strong. I think I'm going to go for Quintorius over Obosh here. Although I do want to try to do at least one draft with every companion by the end of the format. Obosh is a little restrictive for my tastes right now. I don't really want to try to build an Obosh deck till I'm pretty confident in the format. So for now, we'll go for Quintorius. Looks like this is going to be great with a ton of good, basically like a bunch of good removal spells, good non-creature spells in the deck to end up in the grave. So ideally a bunch of instants and sorceries. Nothing really fits that bill in this pack. What are the best cards though? On color, we have Alabaster Host Sanctifiers, a 2 mana 2/2 lifelinker, which is fine. Tiller of Flesh can be good if you have a million ways to target permanents, and removal spells do count. So if we take Tiller Flesh and we get a ton of red burden spells, could be a good spot. Quintorius and Tiller of Flesh just spitting out a bunch of creatures as we're casting removal. I don't think either of those are the best cards in this pack, though. The best cards are just off-color from Quintorius, just the other uncommons. This nice little Sacrifice Dork in black, Finn the Fangbearer in green, and Botanical Brawler in green-white. I think these are just the strongest cards by a good margin. And yeah, I think I will go off-color here. We'll go for the Botanical Brawler. Not that excited about the Tiller. Pack 1, Pick 3, we see no good red cards. Both of these are pretty slow and dirtily, and the white cards, Quende and Bola Slinger, I'm also not that excited about. My favorite card in the pack is Halo Forager out of blue-black. This is a 3 mana 3/1 flyer at worst, and at best you cast it later in the game when you have 6 or 7 mana. Recast somebody's removal spell from their graveyard. This can even recast something from your opponent's grave. I think the card's pretty absurd. I think it's almost as powerful as Quintorius probably, and definitely as strong as Botanical Brawler. So we'll just take that. There's not really a good follow-up. I guess I could take Invasion and just go deep on green-white +1/+1 counters right off the bat. This is a really high toughness, a really high defense battle, and you need a wide board state for it to really get that valuable. I just haven't been that impressed by these kinds of abilities as sorceries, so you really need to flip it to make it to make it good, to make it worth it. I'm not that interested in Invasion. Even starting with a potential Botanical Brawler, I'd rather stay open to moving towards a Halo Forager deck. Alright, no good red or white. Skywarden's probably the best card in red and white, and that's just okay. The rest of them are all kind of egregiously filler in my opinion. In black we have Ichor Drinker, which is good if you can self-mill or if you have a lot of sacrifice. In blue we have Corruption of Tawashi, which is good if you have a ton of incubators to draw a ton of cards, because you get to draw a card every time you flip one of them. Been pretty impressed by the Corruption of Tawashi with enough incubators, so we'll go for that. It is looking like we're heading into blue-black because we're just seeing pretty mediocre red and white, although this is the first pack I actually kind of like the red and white cards. There's a Shatter the Source to go with Quintorius. An Aerial Boost is probably the best white card, but that's not the greatest. Shatter the Source is interesting for Quintorius. But I'm now 2 cards deep into blue, and there are great blue cards here. Eyes of Gataxias for a great value play, Afara's Dispersal for a really efficient piece of interaction, and Invasion of Kamigawa for a solid battle. I think I'd rather take one of these, honestly. Invasion is a little slow, but real powerful if you can flip it. I think I'm going to go Eyes of Gataxias, goes with the Corruption of Tawashi really well, also goes with Halo Forager. Dispersal's pretty sweet too, though. But we'll push in on these potential blue and black cards. Pack 1, Pick 6. Flywheel Racer is okay fixing. You have to tap a creature to crew it, and then you can use this to add a mana of any color. But it's fine. There's a Tidal Terror or Halo Charge Scab for filler blue stuff. The best card is probably the red-green Invasion, but we're pretty far off of that. Once again, nothing in red or white. I guess Traumatic Revelation. I think it was Mr. Metronome on Twitter talking about how this card is so much better than it looks. So I guess I could try it out here if we're going to blue-black, and it does make an incubator to go with the Corruption of Tawashi, so sure, we'll take the Traumatic Revelation here. But I guess the idea behind this is you can make your opponent discard their big scary bomb rare, of which almost every deck has at least 2, and then if they don't have a good target, then you're still getting a 3/3 off of it, which isn't horrible, so we'll try that out. Alright, I'm really happy to take Temporal Cleansing here. I think this is a very solid piece of interaction because you can play it for pretty cheap with Convoke. And it is a 1-for-1 removal spell because even if they choose to redraw whatever you're bouncing, they're skipping a draw step to do it. So it's not like they're going to be up a card like you would be if you just put it back in their hand. So we'll take the Temporal Cleansing here. Not a huge fan of Negate. It is a bit narrow. Ooh, double Corruption of Tawashi. All right, we've got a strategy now. Make a bunch of incubators, flip them, draw a bunch of cards, and control the game through card advantage. So there we go. Blue-black incubation is the direction we're headed, but that's a pretty late invasion of Xerax, and I think this is actually a super solid invasion for the blue-white decks, because white has a bunch of cheap little aggressive creatures to get on the board fast, so you can, if you bounce one creature and then like send at this, you can flip it kind of easily. And then the Paladin's usually pretty large. So I think this is just really good for blue-white knights. So now I want to be a little open to that. We're definitely in blue. Our blue cards aren't really good for blue-white though, which is awkward. Stasis Field is fine interaction, but I think white has better interaction than that and black has better interaction than that. So I'd rather just take the Sanctifier for in blue-white. Get another early game creature. Oh wow, pick 11, we have Eyes of Gitaxias and Afara's Dispersal still in this pack, so blue is wide open. We'll spread things out. We'll take the Dispersal this time for another good piece of blue interaction. Take a Stasis Field over Billy Rider. Not super into that unless you have a ton of ways to buff it. Another Dispersal, pick 13. So we're definitely supposed to be blue. And we have enough blue cards that our second color is wide open to whatever we open up right now. But we've opened up a blue mythic rare, Jin Gitaxias. The mythic rare Phyrexian Praetor for blue. 5 mana 5/5 ward 2, not that exciting, but every time you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, you draw a card. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that will draw us a card off of Jin Gitaxias in blue alone. That's not even counting our invasion of Xerax in white. So Jin Gitaxias is going to be a sweet card draw engine in this deck. Sad to pass up on a Xerax Strobe Knight, because I think this card's also really busted, spitting out some 2/2 Knights as you're casting bonus spells, and just, again, 2/2 Flying Vigilance for 3 is already not bad, but Jin Gitaxias seems absurd. Huh. That's an 8 mana Jin Gitaxias. 8 mana's a lot. I'm so tempted. That seems like probably one of the worst ideas I've had, though. Try to play a... Oh, it's 10 mana? Never mind. Oh my god, I miscounted. It's a 10 mana Jin Gitaxias? There's no way we make it to 10 mana consistently. Alright, so I think I'm going to take Deadly Derision here for blue-black control now to be the deck plan. It's another card that triggers off of Jin Gitaxias, and it's a great piece of interaction. I guess repurposing might be better. Slower, but it also gives us an incubator to flip with Corruption of Tawashis to draw another card off of those. I'll take the repurposing, but I think both of these black cards are incredible. Intercessor's fine white, but I'm looking for more actual non-creatures with Jin Gitaxias. And yeah, I think the blue-black controlling kind of direction could be sweet for the deck. Now we have Protocol Knight's good in blue-white. Lancer's good in blue-white. And these black spells aren't that good. I guess Deluge kills all the 1/1s that blue-red decks make. And -3/-3s against green and white decks. So this actually might be pretty okay in the format. Not too many decks that it does nothing against, because it's good if your opponent is green or white, it's going to do stuff. And if they're the blue-red Convoke deck, it's going to do stuff. That could be interesting. Try to splash in a Vat Keeper because it's strong, or I could just take Lancer and start being aggro Knight stuff. I kind of want to just go firm blue-black control here, try out Glistening Deluge, see how well this works. All right, another Halo Forager is going to work beautifully. Blue-black control, let's go. I like Huntmaster as well, but I don't think we're going to have too much great stuff to sacrifice to it. But I've been really impressed by this card. Card single-handedly won me a ton of games in my black-red deck in the early access event. Oh, wow, there's nothing. Interesting. Blue was wide open, pack 1, but there are 0 blue cards for this. I guess there's a Wrath. I'm not going to play an Aetherborn, so Wrath it is, just in case. This card is fine for a more controlling, like, blue-white deck. Take a blue-black duel, probably. I've got some double blues and some double blacks, so having some fixing is going to be helpful, especially if we end up splashing. Phyrexian Censor is an annoying card. It's really good against a deck with battles. So if we wanted to go full Esper control, that might be a decent option, but I think I'd rather just lock up some fixing. We could also take Tidal Terror for fixing. We'll take the Backwater. Preening Champion is a good enough card to take over the Artistic Refusal, especially because we don't have that many creatures to help convoke it that easily. It is really high impact later in the game. Counterspell, draw 2, and discard a card is a really good deal. But Preening Champion getting a 2/2 flyer and a 1/1 on the ground is also a really good deal that really helps block and helps convoke and just does a lot of work in the format. Timuret seems fine, can gain us some life throughout the game and shut off some potential reanimation from our opponent. So we'll take that Timuret. Cut all the white for now, see how the deck's looking. Cryptomancer is a very solid way to protect your important cards from removal. Seems fine to me. Better than Flywheel Racer or Aeronaut for this deck. Alright, pack 2, pick 10. Whole lot of not much. I mean, Protocol Knight's great in the blue-white Knights deck. If you can play this as a 4-mana 3/4 that stuns a creature, that's pretty awesome, but we don't really have the Knights to go with it. It's not that great. I guess we have 1 Preening Champion. That's a start. Take another Protocol Knight. If I get a ton of Preening Champions, I guess we get to play these Protocol Knights. Take a Halo Charge Scab there. It's a fine filler card. Makes the cut if we don't find anything sweet in pack 3. But we only need 4 more playables in here to start cutting things, so hopefully we find something sweet. Well, I have no mana fixing yet, but Glissa's ridiculous. We only need 1 green mana to play this. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, you incubate 2 twice. So 5 mana for a 3/5 that creates 2 2/2s every single turn. That is monstrous. That's gotta be worth a splash. Gargantua would be the main deckable card. What we're doing right now. Speculate on this Glissa and hope I can find a piece or 2 of fixing, because I think that card is just nuts. Completely nuts. Now we have Cryptomancer, Huntmaster, complete the circuit. This does nothing, right? Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. Alright, it's probably another Cryptomancer. I could go for the Flywheel Racer, but I don't think I have great ways to crew it. I guess I have 10 creatures. That might be enough to help get the Glissa in. I don't think a second Cryptomancer is that exciting. I'll take the Flywheel Racer, but that's not the kind of fixing I want in this deck. I want like Skittering Surveyor style fixing. We do find a Skittering Surveyor here, and it's in a pretty weak pack. Best card by far is Artistic Refusal, but we're not super good at convoking things, so I don't mind too much passing up on that for Surveyor. Pack 3, pick 4. We can't really take green mana fixing because green is the splash. I'm not going to play Urn of Godfire. Curve looks cheap enough to go for a Phyrexian Gargantua here. Top end of the curve, just a big card draw spell. 6 mana, 4/4 plus draw 2. We do lose 2 life, which is kind of painful, but I think it's a solid top end card here. I'm gonna move the Glissa pile to the side so that we can keep an eye on our just blue-black Streamline deck and have our splash speculation over here that we can decide on later. Okay. Another Preening Champion. Nice with the double Protocol Knight. Pretty good card, but I kind of like Gift of Completion because we've got such an Incubate theme going on. We don't have much to do off of 2 mana, so spending the 2 mana to dump that out seems fine. Invasion of Kamigawa also seems fine. This is a pretty good pack. Also another Surveyor. So Surveyor for the Glissa, Gift of Completion for another 2-drop, or Invasion of Kamigawa. I think I'm going to load up on another 2-drop here. Out of that pack. Ooh, Invasion of Amonkhet. This is a super sweet invasion. This has each player mill 3 cards when it hits the board, and then each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. So immediately gives you 2 cards worth of value. Just a 2-for-1 right off the bat. And if you manage to flip it, it's going to be incredible. Maybe we can wheel this Jungle Hollow. That'd be nice. If you flip this, it turns into a 4/4 version of the best creature in any grave. So usually it's going to be like a 4/4 flyer that might have an enter the battlefield effect. But that's a pretty good deal if you can flip it. Okay. I don't like Inga much. Invasion of Kamigawa seems fine. We've got a good amount of flyers to do that. Another Cryptomancer seems fine. I think we've been seeing enough Cryptomancers. We probably get a second one to wheel. And Tidal Terror is fine for a top-end card that can ramp us up early. I'll go for another Invasion. We'll take Invasion of Kamigawa here. Another Temporal Cleansing. Pretty much the only card we're interested in. Come on in. Join the party. Another Flywheel Racer. Or Thundering Squadron. Those are hard to cast. Maybe Unseal the Necropolis here. Dig for one of our bombs. Just a good value play later. That seems fine. Uh-oh. Are we going to wheel none of the Cryptomancers and none of the fixing? Could be awkward. That looks to be the case. I guess I wheeled the Urn of Godfire, but that's not... That doesn't really count. That's not good fixing. Oh, we did. Oh, we got a pick 15 Cryptomancer. Okay. We wheeled one of the Cryptomancers, but we didn't wheel any of the fixing, so the Glissa is looking pretty awkward. Guess I'll drop the Glissa here. And then we have to cut 3 cards. I feel like I probably should have taken just like a Surveyor over this. I forgot what I took over the Surveyor. The Gift of Completion. Probably should have just taken another Surveyor over Gift of Completion and stuck to the Glissa Splash, but I don't know. This looks like a pretty good 2-color deck. We only have 3 Knights, so we only have 1 Preening Champion for the Protocol Knights, so we probably cut those 2. As the 2 creatures that we cut, and then we cut 1 non-creature card here. Maybe 2 non-creature cards. We could go for an 18-land deck. If I don't play Stasis Field, I still have Merciless Repurposing, double Temporal Cleansing, double Afar's Dispersal. I feel like I kind of still want Stasis Field, though. Might have a low enough creature count that I'm not that interested in Unseal the Necropolis, and I'm more interested in just Corruption of Tawashi card draw engines and Jin-Gitaxias card draw engines. Yeah, I could see Unseal the Necropolis being the cut here. I want to try out this Deluge, so I am going to do that. We had a blue-black duel, didn't we? Yes, we did. Get on in here, blue-black duel. You can't hide from me. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9 mana value 3 or greater non-creature spells. Guess I could have an even 10 if I put Unseal the Necropolis in here. I guess I already have 10 with Invasion of Amonkhet, 11 with Invasion of Kamigawa. All right. Yeah, we'll drop Unseal. Card draw galore going on with Jin Gataxius. I feel like I want more black sources than this, but we have 17 blue cards, 9 black. All right. We've got quite a bit less black cards, but we've got a lot of double black. Okay, it evened it out here. 8-8 split. It's probably where I want to be, because I have so many cards that need 2 black mana. But I have a lot more blue cards. It's probably where it's at. Could even see... I mean, I still have 8 blue sources if I add another black, so... Go 8 blue sources, 10 black sources, so I can cast Timuret consistently, Glistening Deluge early. These two I can wait till late game to hit the second black. I don't know, it's pretty close. I guess with Afar's Dispersal being potentially like 1 blue mana, probably have a lot of positions where I want double blue, so that I can play like a Preening Champion and hold up in Afar's Dispersal on turn 4. Yeah, I'll even split it. Unsure on that one. Alright, we're just gonna run the straight up blue-black version of this deck. Lissa version might be stronger, but this way we get to see this archetype in action. Just running all alone. Yeah, seems cool with me. We'll call it a deck there. Alright, here we have a look at today's deck list. This is going to be a blue-black kind of controlling deck today. Our main thing that we've drafted around is we have a Jin Gataxius that's going to draw us a card every time we cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater. So we have a ton of those. Some of our best ones being Afar's Dispersal, because we can cast these for only 1 mana, but they are still technically mana value 3 or greater spells, which is super sweet. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those in our deck to trigger Jin Gataxius and draw a card. So we're really just drawing cards all over the place if we ever hit Jin Gataxius, but also Corruption of Tawashi. We have a decent amount of Incubator tokens and a couple battles to flip to draw cards with this. So just blue-black card draw the deck. Good amount of interaction. Not a great amount of full-on removal. We have Merciless Repurposing for that. And then just Temporal Cleansings to put cards back into our opponent's library, and Afar's Dispersal to put them back in their hand. But Stasis Field is our other way to just permanently remove something that's on the board. So not a ton of full-on removal, but some solid bounce, and a potential discard spell with Traumatic Revelation. Worst case scenario, we get an Incubator, which is great with the double Corruption of Tawashi. And later in the game, we have some really absurd value plays, again with Jin Gataxius, but also with Phyrexian Gargantua, giving us a 4/4 and 2 cards. Halo Forager giving us a 3/1 and recasting a removal spell from either graveyard. And yeah, deck looks pretty sweet, pretty slow, pretty controlling. Definitely not something I'm super used to, but we'll see how it does as we get into the gameplay. Alright, here we are for game 1 on the draw. We've got our Jin Gataxius for turn 5 if we hit another blue source by then. I guess I do need to hit 2 lands by then, but I've got some card draw. Invasion of Amonkhet and Eyes of Gataxius both draw us a card when we play them. Right, there's one more land. We still have to hit the island. I'll go for the Eyes of Gitaxias here. That is not going to find the island, but it will find us a Merciless Repurposing, which is a phenomenal late-game spell. Our opponent's going to start off with a Skittering Surveyor here on turn 3. They already have blue, black, and white, and the Surveyor is going to find the green source for them. They could be on the full 5 color for Invasion of Alara style cards. What do I do here? I don't really want to cast Invasion of Amonkhet until I have the flyer on board, ideally, to immediately hit it for 3, but I need to draw a second blue source badly enough that I think I'm just going to play it to draw a card regardless. I should have waited on my land so I could hold up Afara's Dispersal, but it's unlikely that I would have been able to cast Afara's Dispersal regardless. Alright, we did not hit the second blue still. Alright, things are getting a little sketchy now. Because we didn't hit any land there. We didn't even find a swamp to get towards this repurposing. Mizumi Informant. Alright, that's really fine. Probably Temporal Cleansing. If they play a big threat, I'm just going to put a Stasis Field on it, and I don't really want to bounce either of these. I guess Invasion of Kamigawa is not going to be good until we have way more stuff on board than we currently do, so I'll actually discard Invasion of Kamigawa. And no land, alright, well, we don't have any more card draw, but I have Afara's Dispersal that can Surveil 2. Is that the plan? There's nothing I can Halo Forge, or there's no instants or sorceries that are cheap enough. I think that is the plan. So let's go... probably flip the Incubator, attack Invasion, and then hold up Dispersal against an attacking creature. Could also play Timuret, but then I'm not holding up 3 mana Dispersal, and I have a big enough creature on board that they're just not going to attack me. Like, I kind of want to do this and hope they crack back so I can cast Dispersal. Although I don't really want to bounce either of the creatures they currently have. If they flip the Incubator and attack me with that, that would be perfect, but they probably have better stuff to do with their mana. With Blighted Burgeoning, they have all 5 colors. Yarok the Desecrated, that is certainly something better to do with their mana. We miss on a land again. Cleansing here seems fine. It does slow them down a good amount, and now they're going to have to start chump blocking to stop Invasion of Amonkhet from flipping. Alright. What am I even copying if I flip this invasion? I get a 4/4 flyer or 4/4 menace that I can transform. Wait, how does that even work? If I copy Freewheeler? Hold on a second. If I copy Freewheeler and then I use the transform effect on it, would it turn into the Invasion of Amonkhet again? Or would it turn into the... This is some Twilight Zone kind of magic. I have no idea. I'm tempted to do that for science. Well, we are halfway through our deck. We found 1 island, but we have found a 5th land. Let's go. Guess I can play Timuret and hold up Afara's Dispersal. Get that next trump block on Invasion of Amonkhet here. Phyrexian Awakening. Incubate 4. This is only creatures that it hits. Okay. Couple 3/3s. I think it is worth it to Surveil to kill a 3/3 right now. Hey, there's the island. All right. And then I can even have a dispersal as well. With this many incubate tokens, dispersals feel pretty powerful, so I'm going to keep it. But I don't actually get to hold up the dispersal, even if I immediately drew both of these cards, because I have to spend double blue on Jin-Gitaxias. Okay, they do not have the mana to flip their 4/4. That'll be a 5/5 because of their Sculpted Perfection, so I either trade into this, attacking Invasion of Amonkhet, or send both in, lose Timuret, but guaranteed flip it. I think I'd rather just trade for now. And then we're going to Stasis Field Yarok and bounce the Incubator, and then flip it later. It seems fine to me. I'd be surprised if they just let me flip it immediately. I guess I should have played Jin-Gitaxias first in case that was the case, but if I did play Jin-Gitaxias first, then they would just definitely trade. Because I would draw another card, because the back half is technically also 3 CMC, weirdly. Or 3 mana value, I should say. Alright, they do take the trade still. Here's Jin-Gitaxias. Pass the turn. Let's see what they've got. They're going to flip their Incubator into a 5/5. Attack for 5 with Vigilance. Pretty powerful. Down to 9. Play a Finn the Fangbearer. That's not a Yarok. That's not a Yarok. What are you doing? Stasis Field the Finn and bounce the token, and then I can repurposing Yarok. Seems legit. Yeah, seems very legit. Oh, Corruption of Tawashi. Don't mind if I do. Draw another card off this? No, this is technically casting a creature, never mind. I was completely wrong and misguided last time. And I said I would draw a card when I flip this. I'm not casting a creature, I'm not casting a battle, I'm casting a creature this time. I think I just want a flyer, honestly. Is there a 2-mana instant or sorcery in a grave that I could hit off of Halo Forager? There is not. They're all too expensive. So I'll take this flyer. There's Yarok. Now we repurpose Yarok. Draw a card. Send in the squad. Down to 10. Furia, Judge of Valor. That is a big card. I can just bounce it to hand. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 mana. I can play a 5 mana or less instant or sorcery from either grave. They don't have any. We have Temporal Cleansing or a Far's Dispersal. Guess I'd rather Temporal Cleansing actually then. Although I can play Dispersal and flip the token, so we'll do that. Another Corruption of Tawashi. Oh my god. This game's starting to feel pretty snowbally. Jin-Gitaxias has done a lot when it comes to card advantage here. And there you have it. Jin Gataxias, our opponent does not find removal for it, and at that point we just had so much other stuff to go alongside it that we are going to find the victory there. We're going to be 1-0 heading into game number 2. All right, here we are for game 2. This hand is egregiously slow. Cryptomancer doesn't do anything, and then we have a 5-drop and a 6-drop. We've got both of our colors. I die to aggro pretty hard, but I've got a great late game removal spell. If I'm playing against another 3 or 4 color grindy deck, like we did last round. If it was open deck lists and I could see that my opponent's not playing anything remotely aggressive, I would probably keep, but I think I have to mulligan. Basically doing nothing till like turn 5. Alright, now we have interaction early, so we'll keep this one. I've got the dispersal to surveil into more lands when I need them, so I'll just keep 3 of them and go from there. Alright. Opponent is black-red, which is an aggressive color pair, but they have played nothing so far. Excellent draw for us. Reigning Champion gives us an actual play, so somebody can get the game started. Instead of having us all just stare at each other for a while. Just shuts off blockers and it's a 3/3. Not that worried about that. Really? I'm gonna hold up all my mana and not really mess with that. Might dispersal it just to surveil and find some gas. Find some more threats to play later. I'm not going to Temporal Cleansing. I'll hold up Cryptomancer plus Dispersal instead. Fearless Scald. Well, really happy to have Dispersal, because now it's going to be attacking with Double Strike this turn, and have a counter on it, and they don't have the mana to recast it. Whoop. Thank you, Dispersal. Very cool. We just bounced that and basically drew 2 cards by getting the lands out of the way. Well, not all of the lands. I don't really want to bounce a Scald. I could Stasis Field it, if I don't want to just chump block it forever. But then if they play any bombs later, it's going to be bad. A 3/2 Double Striker, that hits for like 6. That's enough damage. I think I do Stasis Field that. I definitely don't Cleansing it, because I don't want them to redraw it, get another Double Strike backup swing, and play it again. Alright, Zerd is back. Hiker Shade is here. Probably getting greedy with this Cryptomancer. I probably should have just put a counter on Champion by now to speed up the clock. But they're black-red, like, what kind of self-respecting black-red deck does not have a Mountain of Removal eventually? Another Far's Dispersal? Okay. Well, we're finding all of our interaction. We just need a little bit more gas to speed up this clock. But we're not doing that bad. Dispersal can dig again. Try to find some action. Halo Forgers are incredible here. We've got 2 in the deck and they'd both just be really good. Probably Dispersal in the end step and just take the 5 for now. So I've definitely got the mana up to play the Dispersal in the end step. Slows them down even more because they can't just replay it this turn. Gift of Completion, that's a 3/3. Yeah, that's good enough to block Shade and kill it without dying. Good enough to trade into Zerda. Keep that. Plus, when it dies, we get to Surveil. Set up our next draw again. Opponent has been on that classic 10-turn clock since we played the preening champion. You know how it is. Corruption of Tawashis are probably our best draws here. Like, they're probably better than Jin-Gitaxias even right now. That's what we're trying to look for as a card draw engine. But we've also got the Phyrexian Juggernaut. Yeah, we have 4 really good draws. Jin-Gitaxias, double Corruption of Tawashi, and the Juggernaut. I think I still flip this now to get the mana out of the way, even if I end up drawing a Corruption of Tawashi. Timuret is the draw. That's not horrible. -3/-3, our 3/3 token instead of the flyer? Well, either way, I guess Cryptomancer comes in. We're just waiting for 2 removal spells. Oh, they're still killing the token instead of the champion. Okay. Ooh, keep that Halo Forager. Keep that Halo Forager for sure. Timuret's going to be a 2/3 against a 2/3 of their own. It's a pretty good blocker. Prankster's going to be a 3/2. I'll take a little bit of a hit here to play Timuret instead of just cleansing the Zerda here. I can gain some life exiling some cards from their grave, but yeah, we're going to have a Halo Forager to play on one of their collective nightmares. Oh wow, that's the only cards in their grave. Never mind, we're not going to gain any life from Timuret. But yeah, we're going to have 5 flying power after this turn because they threw both the removal spells at our ground creature instead. I feel like that was just pretty good for us. Attack for 3, alright. Down to 13. Goes to our turn. So I can Halo Forager for Afara's Dispersal and bounce the Glistening Goremonger to force them to reflip it. They have to replay it and reflip it. Or I can just play a Collective Nightmare. That's probably better. Sack my 0/1 to kill the Goremonger, or just kill the Zerda. Probably kill the Zerda. I should probably have done this post-combat. If they do have a removal spell now, then they get to kill the 3 power flyer instead of the 2 power one. Okay, let's poke in the sky again. Oh. Wait, they killed Timuret instead of the flyer? What is happening? They have a way to get through here? Just get double strike? If they flip this, they get a million 2/2s, but they're not gonna get through. Okay. I mean, I kill them in 2 attacks. Just have to chump block enough to not flip this, which means I just chump block one of the 2 creatures, chump block the Scald. Even if they flip this, they don't get any flyers. Okay. I'll take it. I think our opponent played really aggressively towards flipping their battles to the point where it definitely got them killed earlier than they would have died. I don't know if I want to say it completely cost them the game, but they definitely would have been in it longer if they just killed both our flyers. They had the opportunity. I don't think I ever could have gotten through the ground troops. Yeah. All right. I mean, I get it now that I see the Invasion of Innistrad. They were trying to find a board state where they could immediately, like, blow up one of our creatures and then flip this, and then that was going to win them the game. That was kind of the game plan. But no respect for the Flyers. No respect for the Flyers. Preening Champion, single-handedly taking out, like, 14 life points. Let's go. Preening Champion MVP, 2-0 as we head into Game 3. Here we are for Game 3. This does not look keepable. One island makes it okay, but it still has like 0 creatures and really slow interaction if we don't have the creatures to convoke. So yeah, even hitting an island doesn't make this hand look that good, so I'm going to take the mulligan here. Obviously, if we don't hit the island, we're doing stone cold nothing and having a very bad time. Halo Forager's basically a 6-drop, honestly. So I might ditch the Halo Forager with this hand. It's either the Forager or the Repurposing. It's one of the 6-drops that we ditch. 100% keeping Champion, and probably Tawashi at 5 mana. I think I'm going to get rid of the Forager. Kind of weirdly. I almost feel like it's a better 6 mana play than Repurposing is. Yeah, it's also just more flexible, where if I just draw 0 lands for the first 5 turns, we can still just cast it. Should probably keep Forager. It's not going to be that much worse than the Repurposing in the worst case scenario, I'd imagine. Playing against a black-green now. Turn 1 Ichor Drinker, turn 2 Portent Tracker. They are going to be ramping up. Here's a Preening Champion. Trade into one of those. Trade into a portion of the Ichor Drinker. Completed Huntmaster. That is very nice with cards like Ichor Drinker. So we drew an Invasion of Kamigawa that if they can't kill my Preening Champion is going to be flipped in 2 turns. I'm going to lock down the Portent Tracker, strangely, because that will slow down their mana. That isn't that bad, but that'll also make sure I can actually flip the Invasion into attacks. Whereas if I don't lock that one down, then they could theoretically tap it next turn to make the Invasion 3 defense, and then I couldn't kill the Invasion with my Preening Champion. So I want to make sure that if they can't deal with Preening Champion, then I can flip the Invasion. I'm going to take this block, because with completed Huntmaster, I'm practically trading into a 3/3. Because every single one of their cards can turn into a 3/3 over time. So that just gets rid of one of their rectangles that could have turned into a 3/3. Right, because they could have sacked it to Huntmaster and then incubated as a 3/3, and also exiled it from grave and turned that incubator into a 3/3 as well. Alright. Do they have the removal? They do not. We do get to flip the Invasion. Wonderful. I should have played Corruption of Tawashi pre-combat. I always forget that this thing works with battles too, and not just the incubator tokens. The way they made battles work is so weird. The fact that they get exiled and then recast, so that they had to put the extra text on Corruption of Tawashi that it triggers when a transformed permanent enters the battlefield under your control, instead of just when something transforms. That always gets me that extra line there. Okay, well that's horrific. Blow up my 2/3 flyer and immediately flip this battle because it's a removal spell and a battle all in one. Got Phyrexian Gargantua, no instants or sorceries in grave for the Forager, so we are on Phyrexian Gargantua. Get a 4/4 and draw 2 instead of a 4/4 and draw 1. Although the drawing 1, we would have had mana up for whatever we drew into. Dispersal and Revelation. Fine. So we should have one more card right now if I played this out perfectly with the corruption. Gyruda. Oh, rude is in the name. That is going to be a 6/6 and another creature. Gonna be pretty massive. Get a consuming Aetherborn and give one of their cards lifelink. Or get a Timurat. Oh, and they milled my Jin-Gitaxias. Some pretty good mills for them. They milled our second Halo Forager and our Jin-Gitaxias. RIP, sadness on the stack. Yep, and the Aetherborn for a big lifelink swing is huge. Yeah, it ain't looking so hot. If I trade here, I'm making the Grandma bigger. And then I just don't have a good board state for blocking anything else. Probably gonna try to dispersal that token, but looking pretty deaders. Can Halo Forger recast Cleansing, but I won't have the mana up for dispersal after that. Let's just flip this Incubator immediately and see what it draws us. So I'm fairly certain I'm holding up dispersal. Draws us a land. Could Revelation get another 3/3 instill dispersal? I don't have a good block for the flyer. If I do that, I have to play Halo Forger to have a good block for the flyer. I don't have anything good to Halo Forger, though. Yeah, I'll take another hit from the flyer and block everything else this turn, I think. So we go... Dramatic Revelation. See what's in their hand and probably just get the Incubator. Sandstalker Moloch, Wildwood Escort. Oh my god. So if Gyruda ever dies, they're going to put it back in their hand and replay it. Okay. Same with if Grandma ever dies, they'll put it back in their hand and replay it. I really want to get my 3/3 here, but maybe I'm supposed to make them discard that Wildwood Escort. Or the Moloch, because the Moloch's also going to draw them a card when I play my Dispersal. Do not like seeing that kind of action still in their hand. I guess I'll just get rid of the Moloch and hold up Dispersal. We have, like, a lot of options in how we're playing out this game in the end, but they all feel pretty bad. We just have to try to find the least bad options. I don't have any counter spells to counter Gyruda, but I could Halo Forge and then make them discard Gyruda if they play the Wildwood this turn. Sort of a plan, although now Grandma's going to be a 4/4, which I can't kill with Halo Forger. Maybe we can find removal with Dispersal. Like a repurposing or something. Oh yeah, I don't get to dig because they have Huntmaster on board. Completely forgot about Huntmaster because there's so much other powerful stuff going on. Escort Gyruda to hand. Yeah, I mean, I can... Well, another Dispersal might be okay. I can Halo Forager, make them discard the Gyruda, and hold up a Dispersal. Maybe I like block Grandma and bounce my own Forager. I don't think I have enough power and toughness to survive too long here. Wow. That's a good top deck. They have the mana to immediately recast this invasion. If I try to bounce it right now. I guess 4/4 can block either of these. I can double block Grandma with these two. So I bounce Huntmaster then. The alternative is to discard Dispersal and do nothing, since they drew Nezumi Informant. Can't bounce the token, because it's not flipped yet. Neither of those are nearly enough at this point. Cleansing on Grandma might be okay. I need something absurd. Something I probably don't even have in my deck. Yeah, actually, this is the game that we even put repurposing on bottom of our library, so we can't even draw into that. Well, we're making them fight for it. If I get another Corruption of Tawashi, that is actually really good. We get a 4/4 and draw 2 cards. That could be our out here. Draw another Corruption of Tawashi. Honestly, any of our Incubate is solid. Getting a creature and drawing a card. But I'm probably dead in 2 swings, right? Because they attack with everybody here. I block 3 things and take 3. Yeah, I'm going to be at 3 life. I'm definitely dead in 2 swings. Because now I can't even double block Grandma without dying. If I double block Grandma and kill a 3/3, I take 6 and die. So I have to let Grandma become absolutely massive this turn. By doing this. Well, that is certainly not it. 2-1, heading into game 4 now. Here we are for game 4. I definitely need to hit 1 land, but we're on the draw, which helps out. If I hit that land, I've got Preening Champion and Temporal Cleansing, and Dispersal also helps Surveil to hit lands, so I'm going to keep this hand. Dispersal is basically 1 mana if I use it against their attacking creature, which is a pretty common way to use it. And we did immediately hit land number 3. Let's go. Playing against mono white so far. No plays yet. Ooh, we got the double Tawashi. If we make it to late game, we're going to be flooding in card advantage, just drowning in cards. There's a Furnace Host Charger. Mountain Cycling for a red source. So a red-white deck from our opponent. No plays turn 3. I'm going to play the tap land on turn 4. Let's just get the Preening Champion out for now. And pass the turn. Knight of the New Coalition from our opponent. Dispersal is super sweet against tokens, so kind of nice to see that. Drop a Dismal Backwater, attack for 2, and we will be blowing up the Vigilant Knight creature token. They've got 5 mana now. Here comes a Tiller of Flesh. Whenever they cast a spell that targets a permanent, they get to incubate 2. So when they cast removal spells or protection spells, they'll be incubating. Could have the +2/+2 flying trick there, but they can't have a removal spell there. I like both of these draws quite a lot. I guess I already have a land in hand for next turn, so I'll take the Forager first to have that as an option, and then I'll draw the land the turn after, but I am going to want to keep hitting lands when I have double Corruption of Tawashi. You kind of want to get to like 7 mana. Halo Forager also makes us want to have a ton of lands. So keep the Halo Forager, keep the lands. Take the 2. Alright, not playing Halo Forager this turn, so we are on Corruption. Unless I want a Temporal Cleansing Tiller of Flesh. I think I'd rather just Corruption first. Poke for 2. Oh no. 1 mana? Yikes. 1 mana removal for our 3 mana flyer and get a 2/2. Pretty good swing in our opponent's favor. And that's a cheap card I can't even cast off Halo Forager because it only shoots attacking or blocking creatures. Here comes a Furnace Host Charger, 5/5. Furnace, not Furnace. Take 1,000,000 now. And that is quite bad, but I think I need to keep this to play Temporal Cleansing. No, I'll have the mana to play Cleansing and flip a 4/4 next turn. I could chump here. I think I'd rather keep it to be able to go for a double block if I want to. No blocks here. Down to 10. We play the land, we straight up have to just cleanse this Charger. And flip a 4/4. I don't have the time to play another Corruption of Tawashi, but I could, if I draw another land, play another Corruption of Tawashi and then flip if I have 7 mana to play and flip in the same turn. Seal from Existence. Guessing there goes my 4/4. I can draw the card off of it first at least. Take 4. Down to 6. Don't know why they didn't hit me with that 2/2. Dang it. Land would have been so good there to play and flip Tawashi. Get a 4/4 and draw 2. Instead, probably Halo Charge Scab for a 4/4 and Dispersal one of their creatures. Yeah, seems reasonable. Oh yeah, it mills the Charger as well, which is awesome. Mills the Jin-Gitaxias too. I'll take another Dispersal. I do want to land pretty badly, but I think Dispersal is good enough. I can just play a Halo Forager next turn on a Dispersal instead, because I'm going to be casting this Dispersal most likely. Alright, flip the Incubator. Tarkir Dune Shaper. Okay. Nothing else. Got a Gift of Completion. I could play Gift of Completion, flip it, and still have a Dispersal up. So since I didn't end up casting one of the Dispersals, that is the play, because Halo Forager's not going to hit anything. I mean, it'll hit at Elspeth Smite, but again, I can't actually do anything with that. I think I'm going to flip this right now to see what I draw. Although, because if I flip it now, I could play land for a turn, but if I flip it later, I can have the 3 mana Dispersal if they don't attack, which seems important. Alright, flip a Dune Shaper. Send in a Dune Shaper. Let's flip a 3/3 draw card, block with it. They try to buff this, we can Dispersal. Alright, cool. Surveil. Temporal Cleansing. Keep that. I've got the 7 mana to play another Corruption of Tawashi, hold up, double Dispersal, and then flip and draw 2 if I don't need to flip. I do need to hold up double blue though. Arena Auto Tapper. There we go. Feels like some blue-black control shenanigans, which is what we wanted here. Feels like we're stabilizing against the aggro deck. Splashed in Order of the Mirror? They splashed in the red. Maybe they splashed in the red? Because all their red cards are the Mountain Cyclers? Could see that. Be a lot weirder if they splashed in a 2-drop than if they splashed in something that can cycle for its own land type. Okay. How do I close out this game? Probably need a big flyer like a Halo Forager. So I gotta play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I can spend 6 mana and still have some Cryptomancers up. But I need to spend 7 mana to recast something from Grave with Forager. Maybe I just give up on value, and that's fine. No, I'm gonna wait one more turn and get a Dispersal in my grave, because I have the mana to play a Halo Forager and recast a Dispersal and hold up Cyber Cryptomancer. Oh no. Whole board +1/+1 Vigilance every turn? Okay. That's a card that can leave us pretty dead. They only have the mana to use it once per turn right now, but I think I am going to cleansing that next turn. Alright, let's finally get this Dispersal out of the way. Then I can Halo Forager and recast it if I want. Like Eyes of Cataxis, but I need the land to play Forager and recast a Temporal Cleansing on Wrath and still have Cryptomancer mana up, so I'm going to do that first. I also don't really want to mill out, and Eyes of Cataxis is going to be a draw 3 in the future. It's good. I've still got 18 cards. I shouldn't worry about that too much yet. Okay, so we hit the land, and now I can play a Halo Forager. Temporal Cleansing Wrath. And still have a Cyber Cryptomancer up. I guess I could, if I'm ever like really worried about milling out, I can Temporal Cleansing my own Scab and then Scab my Temporal Cleansing and then Temporal Cleansing my Scab and then Scab my Temporal Cleansing. Right? Because this, if I have an empty library, I can still play this and then put Temporal Cleansing on top. And then I draw my Temporal Cleansing as my one card and I put my Scab on top. And then I draw my Scab and I put my Temporal Cleansing on top and then just keeps going from there. They're tapped out here. They have no other cards in hand. They'd have to immediately top deck removal for Halo Forager, so I'm going to Cryptomancer here to save that. I guess they will have 2 cards to draw into the removal for the Forager. But if they draw removal here, they might also just draw into just killing me, just into straight up lethal at that point. We are at 5. Alright, Alabaster Host Sanctifier for another creature. That's it. Alright, Eyes of Gataxias for sure. See what we draw. Invasion of Amonkhet, make them discard the only card in their hand and mill the Wrath? That's moderately okay, I would say. Only a tiny bit disgusting. Only a tiny bit disgusting. Do I have a Halo Forge in my grave? No. What are they doing? Bouncing my token? That's fair. This Tiller Flesh has been so nasty. I probably Cryptomancer here then. Again. Now I'll have Dispersal to bounce my own Cryptomancer later. As thing. Oh, I did mill a Halo Forager now. So I can, when this flips, get a 4/4 Halo Forager. I'm down to 11 cards, so I do need to keep Temporal Cleansing for Scab as an option. Going on the never mill out plan. If 6 attackers, 6 blockers, it's actually kind of sketchy to attack Invasion here. Oh wait, no, I've got this to flip, so I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers, even if I send Forager in. Alright. Plus I have a Dispersal for 1 mana if I need to. But again, I'd like to keep it so I can disperse a Cryptomancer and recast that later when I have mana up. Kind of just drawing so many cards and doing so much stuff. I'm just never not using all of my mana though. Always using it all. Should be playing a 40 land deck. Alright, flip token. Hopefully that doesn't mean they just drew removal and they're gonna annihilate my face. That's 6 attackers. Here's 6 blockers. In theory. So I guess if they go for this, then I don't get to keep a Cryptomancer to bounce to my Dispersal anymore. But I think that's fine. Let's definitely kill the Tiller Flesh, kill the Order, kill the Knight. Give it some Trumpeties to be safe. Cool. To kill all that stuff without losing a creature. Now I've got a really good board state. If I flip a Halo Forger, what am I recasting? 9, 10, 11 mana? Cast a Merciless Repurposing on Sanctifier? Sure. Seems like the strongest spell. Alright. Copy Halo Forager. Merciless Repurposing. We get to kill one of their creatures and get another blocker. Get to draw 2 cards again. I've got the Cleansing Scab thing going, potentially. But I might want to stop drawing cards soon. Eight cards left. Yeah, I'm just going to not draw cards unless I need an out to what's currently happening. And right now we're so far ahead. I probably could have even attacked with some of these ground troops. Okay. Yeah, I mean, now we're just really killing them. I'm a greedy Gus, though. I'm going to draw some cards. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. All right. And their whole board has hexproof right now, so we definitely pass turn. Five cards left. Cool. I don't want a temporal cleansing their card when I can use it to save myself later from milling. So we just attack with flyers. They die in 3 hits. That is the goal. Stasis field to deal with a flyer if they get one. Oh, Timuret for a mountain of life gain. Pretty good when we're at 5 life. Alright, one more swing and we're in there. I don't think I can cast that Gargantua. A little sketchy. Alright. Really big, really long, really grindy, control-y game there, but huge stabilization from the early aggro stuff our opponent was doing, and some great work from the blue-black control archetype here. We are now 3-1, getting at least an even run no matter what happens, but we're 1 win away from breaking even on gems. So hopefully, let's get at least one more win here before we head off for the day. Let's head into round number 5, 3-1. Alright, here we are in game 5, desperate need of a swamp with this hand. Got a stasis field for one of their threats, but Halo Forager and Gargantua both feel like pretty late game plays. I could just roll out the Forager, but not if I don't hit the swamp. We are on the draw, but I'm going to take the mulligan here. This is better mana-wise. Still has a double black card with 1 black source. Still has only that stasis field as an early game play. Kind of just the same hand, basically, but with slightly better mana, so we'll keep it. See where things go from here. We did find the second black source, so we can Glistening Deluge for sure. If our opponent has a bunch of 1 toughness cards, that could be pretty good. Doesn't look like the correct color matchup for us, though. Ooh! Forest. Invasion of Ixalan. Look at the top 5 cards of their library, reveal a permanent from among them, put it into their hand, put the rest on the bottom. They just cast Once Upon a Time? I thought that card was banned. That's because Once Upon a Time you could cast for free. But if you hard cast it, it was 2 mana and it was basically that text and it was still fine. And this is that with some upside, where if they beat that battle down for 4, they get a pretty much an indestructible 4/3 trample, because it gets indestructible whenever they cast a spell, so as long as they keep casting 1 spell per turn. 4/3 indestructible trampler. Pretty spooky. Alright, we've drawn another land, so we're just going to be chilling. Our hand is very reactive. as is kind of our deck in general. There's an Overgrown Pest, very good value play from our opponent. They get a 2/2 and they get to dig for another battle, or flip creature, or land in the top 5, reveal it and put it into their hand. They do get a flip creature, they get a Blight Reaper Thallid, which is a great one. Turns into a 3/3 that makes a Sapperling when they flip it and when it dies. Another land for us. Oh, slow them down from flipping Invasion by trading Glistening Deluge into Pest. I don't love it, but I'm not going to kill the Blight Reaper Thallid with Deluge anyway. I guess I'd kill the Blight Sower Thallid if they flipped that later. Do I just Stasis Field the Pest to stop them from flipping the Invasion? Oh wait, no, if they flip the Invasion, then Deluge can kill the 4/3, because this does -3/-3. Okay. We're just letting them flip the Invasion then, and then we'll Deluge after it's flipped. They're going to hit it for 2. And cast another Overgrown Pest. You know, the sad thing about this is we won't even really be getting like a 3-for-1 like you would expect, because every single card that we're going to kill with our Deluge has already drawn them a card. Pest drew them a card, the second Pest drew them a card, the Invasion of Ixalan drew them a card. So every single card that we're killing already drew them a card to replace itself. So they're just like... they're just going even on value. We're just kind of counteracting all their 2-for-1s, putting them back to just 1-for-1s. Timuret will not die to our Glistening Deluge, and we have a Cryptomancer to protect him if they try to go for the Invasion of Lorwyn later. I think I'm just going to let this happen rather than trying to Cryptomancer kill a Pest, because I'm already going to be deluging the Dino. There's the Belligerent Regisaur. They've got 5 mana. They're 1 mana away from Invasion of Lorwyn. Here comes Blight Reaper Thallid. Please flip it. Please flip it in the same turn as well. That would be so beautiful. Oh yeah, that's what I love to see. So this board state is going to turn into a single 1/1. Ah, Jin-Gitaxias. I don't get to play you until after I've already cast Deluge, because there's no way I can wait a turn. That's a pretty good Glistening Deluge, I would say. A pretty good one. I do get to play Jin-Gitaxias up against their Invasion of Lorwyn, because it's got Ward 2, they need 8 mana to kill Jin-Gitaxias with the Invasion. Oh, and they're just going to try to kill Timuret with it anyway. Alright, then I get to get Cryptomancer out of the way. I'm fine with this, because I'm not going to hold up Cryptomancer. I'm just going to play Jin-Gitaxias next turn straight up. Guaranteed. Because I don't actually have any mana value 3 or greater non-creature spells in hand, so Jin-Gitaxias is kind of just a 5/5 Ward 2 for a while, regardless. Gyruda again. Probably not good. We'll see what they milled. I don't think they milled any evens from our deck, no. Oh. They milled a rare and a removal spell on a stick creature. Well. It's pretty equally bad to what happened last time. I guess I get to turn Gyruda into a 0/2. Turn into a 0/2, I get to attack with Jin-Gitaxias, and I get to also play Halo Charged Scab. I guess I should play Halo Charged Scab before anything else and see what I get to put on top of my library. And that could impact my choice. Just Deluge. I think I just declined that against this board state. They have 4 power on the board, so we get to attack with the 5/5. Unless they have the +2/+2 combat trick that has Convoke. Oh, they have the Graveyard Recursion for Gyruda. Maybe not in hand, but probably in deck if they're going for that. It means they have more graveyard recursion than they have ways to deal with enchantments. And they might be trying to recur the activated ability. A second Invasion of Lorwyn, that is quite good. Goodbye, Jin-Gitaxias. Served us well. At least they can't attack any of their battles for now. Well, that's another pretty monstrous bomb. Just got a 1/2 and 4 3/3s off of one card. 5 creatures. Spooky. I'm never going to flip this invasion because I tap a creature down one time, but then next turn they can spend all their mana to have 4 3/3s. Don't even know what I do with it here. If I even cast it at all. Like, I could cast it and tap down Intercessor, and they don't have a good block on Scab right now. But then they just trump block with the 1/1, and then have 4 3/3s up and basically accomplish nothing. I think I just pass and hold on to this in case it... Like, maybe we draw a bunch of flyers again and this locks down a flyer or something, but... Just every card in our opponent's deck is a 2-for-1 at minimum, a 5-for-1 at best. That could be nice. But they're about to start getting some 8/8s flipping these Invasions of Lorwyn with all their 3/3s. Surprised they didn't just already go for one of them. They haven't flipped any of their Incubators? Do they have like Sunfall in their deck as well? And they just want to have extra creatures if they have to board wipe? What is going on? Let's draw a card. Maybe we can dig our way out of this. Invasion of Kamigawa still doesn't do anything because they have enough mana up to flip 3 3/3s. Yeah, just pass and flip another Incubator in their end step. This is so wildly suspicious that they're not flipping. I mean, if my opponent has Progenitor, Exarch, Gyruda, Pelucranos, Doomscar Warrior, Invasion of Ixalan, and Sunfall, I'll just pack it up, that's fine. I'm not going to play around Sunfall right now. They could just be being a little weird with the tokens. Right, well, I guess I put a 4/4 there. Make it a 4/4, get 1 land. Make it a 5/5, get 1 land. Okay. Phyrexian Gargantua, there's some more card draw. They're down to 12 cards in their library. If I start doing the Temporal Cleansing Scab thing later, that could be a thing. I guess I'll have less cards in my library, but again, Temporal Cleansing and Scab is going to make sure I always have 1 on top of my library if they don't have instant speed removal to get in between them. Yeah, I think we're passing the turn. I guess Not right now, but in the future I could lock down one of their creatures with Invasion of Kamigawa and then dispersal one of the tokens that they flip trying to block and defend the invasion. $10 cards to 11 in their deck. Am I on Invasion of Kamigawa Dispersal yet? No, they have a 1/1, a 3/4, a 1/2, a 5/5, 3 3/3s, and a 3/2 to crew with the 1/1. Like all they have to do is triple block, and Dispersal's just not really gonna fix things. Yeah, I guess we're just like on the mill plan. We just wait a long time and then try to replay a scab at an opportune moment. When they have like 2 cards left in their deck, just recast a scab. Try to go from there. I'm surprised they didn't use this Exarch way more aggressively, but I'll take it. Timberland Ancient. Alright. That's going to be significantly harder to block well. Another dispersal. Okay. I think it's fine to just get some time off of having to deal with this ancient. Really just don't think we're ever attacking. I think we're entirely trying to mill them out. They're going to do any tricks to save their intercessor? Let's see. Maybe no. Corruption of Tawashi and Cryptomancer. I'll take both of those. Okay. Get our Timuret back now? I guess I was right. They just have 50 rares. Well. So they have 3 3/3s and a 7/7, even if I bounce one of my own cards with Dispersal. So I think it's probably better just let it be an 8/8 and then Dispersal the 8/8. So I just gain as much life as I can right now. Good God. Feels like the deck you run up against when you're 3-0, but I'm not 3-0. They should just exile extra cards from their grave for fun. In case they have the card that returns a creature or a battle from their grave to hand. I'll let them keep their Fertilid's Favor though. Oh my god, they have Timberland Ancient still as well. Nah, we're probably dead. Okay, we need 1 mana for Dispersal, that's it. 7 cards left. I don't think I can even be on the mill plan anymore, since I couldn't afford to dispersal my own card. I mean, I could have mana-wise, but not, like, dying to an 8/8 wise. 8/8 and a 6/5 wise. Do I have another one of those mill dorks in my deck? I don't. Okay, so I'm straight up just gonna mill out then. Well, I'd rather go out on my own terms. They have 8 cards, we have 7. I can still Temporal Cleansing my own Halo Forager. And then recast Temporal Cleansing on the Halo Forager, and then recast Temporal Cleansing on it. An Invasion of Amonkhet mills both players 3 cards, so if they go down to 3 in deck, we can finish them off with that. I think I still need to just draw these cards. For now. To have a shot at surviving into Halo Forager Temporal Cleansing loops instead. There's the Invasion of Amonkhet, but that kills me if I play it right now, right? They go down to 5 cards. I mill 3 and draw 1. So I go down to 2, then I go down to 1 card. And if I mill the Halo Forager, I'm screwed. Yes, I don't do that right now, but then I can't do it later, because I can't do this because I have to draw the card off this. This is the only time I could do it? To mill them a few cards? Do I believe in the heart of the cards, or do I just sit here and never play Invasion? I'm just going to believe in the heart of the cards. It's my only possible bet here. Alright. We don't have the heart of the cards. We milled Halo Forager. And our last card's an island, so there's no outs now. I can Temporal Cleansing my own Cryptomancer 1 time and die to 1,000,000 XXs. Well, we lasted way longer than we had any right to against a deck that explosive, so I'll take that as a moral victory. 3-2 here. Fighting our way through Gyruda and the flipped battle. We didn't have to fight through Pelucranos. They did just get the Pelucranos milled, but Sunfall in the end is going to do us in. Is the highest win rate card in the entire format. Is going to do it to you. 3-2 heading into round 6. Alright, here we are on the play for game 6. Definite keeper here. Got that turn 3 champion to get things rolling. We've seen that card do like 14 damage in some earlier games. It's definitely an MVP. Traumatic Revelation, let's see what they've got. Zerda and a Knight Errant of Eos. And Angelic Intervention to keep track of. Sunder the Gateway we don't really care about. I guess that blows up our Corruption of Tawashi's. I think I'd get rid of the Knight Errant and just let them play the Zerda. Because this draws them cards and puts a 4/4 on board. So it's like a 2-for-1. We'll just take some hits from Zerda to start things off. Nice, they are just going to curve out Sunder the Gateway as a 2/2, so if we do hit a Corruption of Tawashi, then we do get to keep it. They do have a pretty aggressive curve, though. But the problem is, if I get rid of the Zerda, then they would just be casting the 4/4 this turn, because they just spend 3 mana, invoke both. They cast a 4/4 and draw a 2-drop from their top 6 cards. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'd be in a worse position if we let them keep Knight Errant, even though we're still in a bad position here, them curving out 1, 2, 3-drop. We obviously can't block because we know they have Angelic Intervention, so even if I double block the Intervention and keep their creature, kill all mine. Probably do Temporal Cleansing the Zerda. I don't have any way to hold up a Cybo Cryptomancer and do that. Unless I convoke both my creatures, but I think I'd rather just hit for 2. Worth it to just kill the 2/2 permanently? I think it's better to make them just redraw Zerda, because it's basically just a 3/3. So making them, their draw step next turn is just going to be another 3/3, or 2 turns from now, technically. It's got a decent ability. Yeah, I think it's better to hit Zerda than the token here, especially because we have like 3 of the bounce and attacking creature spell in this deck. And we have 2 dispersals in this deck. That could kill the token for 1 mana and Surveil. Alright, yeah, see, they're even just going to put Zerda on bottom. So we basically just permanently killed the 3/3 instead of permanently killing the 2/2. So that was definitely better. Take our 3 damage. See what they've drawn into, because we've seen everything in their hand before. They've had another 2/2 now. Now we drop a Corruption of Tawashi, because again, with Intervention, I'm not going to get any profitable blocks with the champion for sure. I'm taking a pretty big swing here. Take 5, go down to 9 now. But Corruption of Tawashi giving us a 4/4 can help us stabilize, because that's big enough to block any of their creatures without worrying about Angelic Intervention. Invasion of Kamigawa. Could immediately flip that. I don't have the mana to play it, flip it, and play... Or no, this is 4 defense, isn't it? Yeah, I don't actually have the mana to immediately flip it, because I'd need to hit them with, or hit it with the Incubator token. I think I flip the token right now to draw the card and see if I hit another land. Because then I could play Invasion as well this turn. Another Cryptomancer, it's not a land. I think I'm just holding blocks up then. Because I definitely have the card advantage to win the long game if I can just stop every point of damage they try to deal now. I can use Cryptomancer to just buff my 1/1 into trading into a 2/2. So we block in a way that forces them to Angelic Intervention to kill our champion, and then we can win the other combats with Cryptomancer. I can't beat a Seraph of New Capenna when that thing's flipped, so we'll probably have to Invasion that. Really need to get them to spend on Angelic Intervention right now if we can, and we can't. They're just not going to attack at all. Which means they're going to save Intervention to use on the Seraph. Means they can use it in response to Invasion of Kamigawa. That is not ideal. Do I play a Cryptomancer now to make this champion a 3/3? Force them to sack things to attack him with that Seraph? I don't think so. That is not a land. Really wanted to be able to Invasion, get the Intervention on the other hand, and then maybe go for a block and then surprise Cryptomancer to kill the Seraph next turn. Guess instead we play the Eyes of Gataxias and hold up a Cryptomancer, as well as the ability to flip. Have to find a way to deal with that Seraph or we're gonna die in the sky. We can get them to use the Angelic Intervention if they don't sacrifice a creature on the attack here. Actually, with Recycler, we're probably just dead to Intervention no matter what we did here. Right, because they sack drain us for 1. Oh, and that moves its counter around? Okay, yeah, we're dead. Because intervention can make it so we can't block with blue cards. So they flip it into a 3/3 with a counter on it, which is a 4/4. I sack a creature to make it 6. Sack the recycler to itself. Okay, we're just dead. We had to play Invasion of Kamigawa, which doesn't put us in a good spot, but I guess we wouldn't have died. We would have played Invasion of Kamigawa. It would have forced them to play the Angelic Intervention right there to keep the Seraph untapped. But then we would have had to just chump block it this turn. Yeah, well, that was pretty nasty. But if they risk it for the biscuit here, we're dead on board. They're not going to risk it for the biscuit. Okay. Because, yeah, if they sacked a creature, it's 4, 5, 6, 7. Choose protection from blue. 8 by sacking Recycler to itself. All right. Still so super dead. I guess I draw my card first and see what I hit, because Cryptomancer's not going to do anything for me here. Yeah, I just need to find another removal spell for that. I can Invasion of Kamigawa here. Force them to use the intervention. That's a 5/5. If they sack a creature and attack with it, it's a 7/7. 2 blockers on the ground to not die. We're going to definitely play the Dismal Backwater post-combat here. They might block with Recycler, sack it to itself to put me to 7, and then try to attack with Seraph, sack the 2/2 to win. Or that works too. The other way around. They have lethal on board, but not if I play Backwater. Now they have to have something else to buff up the board state. Oh, Temporal Cleansing? Into Invasion of Amonkhet to mill the flyer? This Recycler is a really big deal too, though. I think I really want to flip this Invasion. I'm going to attack it with both of these. It's just guaranteed. No. I'll attack it with just this. Because the only way that this doesn't flip the Invasion is if they sack their Recycler. And then we don't have to worry about its life drain anymore, which is still very good. Because if they played any removal to try to win that, I could Cryptomancer. Okay, cool. Just have another hexproof spell? I guess we're dead. Yep, cool. Dead on board then. What a bummer. 3 and 3. It'll be. We could have played that out a little better. Maybe found a victory in 1 or 2 of those games that we lost. I don't know. There were a million options throughout. Pretty happy with our deck in general. Pretty happy with the drafting. Biggest thing that could have went different in the draft was choosing our lane a lot more straight up. Because we missed out on a couple cards that might have made this build better if I didn't take Glissa and Skittering Surveyor. Because we did take those over some cards for blue-blacks. There were like 3 cards we could have improved this deck with. But decently happy with 3/3 for this deck. Pretty sweet stuff possible, and the decks we lost to were certainly some powerhouses for sure. Yeah, kind of a low creature count for the battles. Invasion of Kamigawa was pretty bad generally. Everything else, though, I think worked out pretty well. Obviously, in our last game, the thing that could have went a lot differently is if I did do my thing where I was going to double attack Invasion to make sure that it flips, then we would have had a chump block for the flyer. All things considered, we probably still lose that game because I'm forced into a chump the next turn. So I guess that doesn't feel that bad. I'm forced into a chump next turn and I still don't have any way to kill the flyer. If my trick didn't resolve there, if they just had multiple hexproof / protection spells like they did. But we could have had a flying chump blocker for another turn. I could have played around Sunfall a little harder in that one matchup, but again, I don't mind that. And yeah, Gyruda came in pretty hot for our first 2 losses as well. They were both Gyruda decks, which was pretty nasty. Deluge did not show up super often, but it was really good in the deck that had, or against the deck that had Sunfall. Can't believe that was even still the same game, but their deck was just so loaded, they really were able to come back because they had so many 2-for-1s. So, I mean, it saved us from dying way sooner than we would have, which was nice. I don't think it really showed up in matchups where it was horrible that often, which is nice. Yeah, not too much to say here. Traumatic Revelation, I don't see it. It's fine. It doesn't... I would not say this card is the truth, though. I have played it a bit now, and it was fine. It's a fine card. It's a lot better than most duress-style effects because of the backup incubation you can get sometimes, and the power level of some creatures in battles, but I'm still not that excited about this. Yeah, biggest things we could have done if we had some more straight-up removal, that would have been helpful. Obviously, being able to actually kill that flyer in the end by drawing another removal spell like Repurposing. So maybe if we had taken, I think in the pack with Glissa, there was the 4-mana instant that destroys a creature and puts a treasure token on the board. That would have been pretty massive. Really good for the deck. And could have helped us out a lot in that last game for sure, and probably in our other 2 losses. But 3-3, nothing to scoff at. Perfectly average, right in the middle run. Gonna give us 1,000 gems and a couple packs, but that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons very much for supporting this channel, as well as thanking you for watching. If you're interested in seeing some more videos like this, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel, link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. Other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.